What's up, guys? We finally have the full conclusion to Cain Velasquez's case. It's been over 3 years since this all started. And now that all the details are public, it's time to weigh in on the situation. As always, it's best to wait for everything to come out before giving a full opinion, and, in this case, there are some major updates that a lot of people might not have seen. So, here's where things stand. Cain Velasquez has officially been sentenced to 5 years in prison retroactively. He pled no contest to felony attempted murder, as well as assault and weapon charges. But because of time served, Cain has already completed 3 years of that sentence, 1 year behind bars, and 2 years under house arrest. That leaves him with 541 days left, just under a year and a half. Now, with good behavior, Cain could be released even sooner. But here's the part that makes everyone sick. Harry Goularte. The man Cain was chasing the man accused of molesting Cain's then 4-year-old son over 100 times at a daycare facility owned by his own mother is still free. No trial, no conviction, no prison. Let that sink in. Cain is locked up, serving a sentence, while the man accused of doing the unthinkable to his child is still walking free. Hasn't seen the inside of a courtroom and hasn't even had his day in court after all these years. It's a nightmare situation that no parent should ever have to live through. Now, let's rewind. For anyone who doesn't know the full story, this is how everything unfolded. On February 28, 2022, Cain found out that Harry Goularte had been released from custody. And after everything his family had been through, after the justice system failed to keep that man behind bars, Cain took matters into his own hands. He chased Goularte in a high-speed pursuit that lasted 11 miles. But here's the detail that made everything even more dangerous. Goularte wasn't the one driving. Was his stepfather behind the wheel. And Cain, blinded by rage, opened fire during the chase. He didn't know exactly who was in the vehicle. It was most likely tunnel vision. He was focused on one man, but that man wasn't alone. Cain ended up ramming their truck and fired multiple shots. He missed Goularte, but struck the stepfather in the arm and torso. Even more concerning, according to the Assistant District Attorney of Santa Clara County, Angela Bernhardt, Cain's gunfire sprayed near a school that was crowded with children, teachers, and parents at the time. Let me say that again. He fired at a moving vehicle near a school full of kids. That's what landed Cain in such serious legal trouble. Here's a direct quote from Angela Bernhardt. Cain Velasquez was sentenced to 5 years in prison today by the Honorable Arthur Bocanegra for a vigilante shooting spree that wounded an unintended target and sprayed bullets near a school crowded with children, teachers, and parents. That's incredibly serious. Public endangerment like that, especially in a school zone, is going to get the system's full attention, and fast. And that's exactly what happened. While Goularte walks free, Cain was quickly charged, prosecuted, and sentenced. And let's be honest, Cain could have killed someone completely innocent. A random person crossing the street. A kid. A teacher. He knows that now. He's even acknowledged that himself. On Kyle Kingsbury's podcast, Cain took full accountability. Here's what he said. From what I can say, as far as myself, the way that I handled things was not the way to do it. We cannot put the law in our own hands. I know what I did was very dangerous to other people, not just people involved, but innocent people. I understand what I did, and I'm willing to do everything I have to pay that back. That kind of self-awareness is rare. Cain understands that his actions could have hurt people who had nothing to do with this situation. But when you consider the emotional trauma, the pain of knowing what allegedly happened to his child, and that the man responsible was free, it's not hard to see how he reached that breaking point. And here's the wild part. They tried to give Cain 30 years to life. That was the initial goal of the prosecution, 30 years. But thanks to strong legal representation and the support of the entire MMA community, he ended up with 5. His lawyer, Renee M. Hilling, said it best: today's result is bittersweet. We had hoped Mr. Velasquez would remain out of jail. However, the facts remain clear. Cain Velasquez is a good man, a devoted father, and a respected member of the community. What he and his family have endured has been nothing short of a living nightmare, one they did not deserve. Throughout it all, Cain has shown courage and strength of character. He has taken responsibility for his actions and has been held accountable. The sentence handed down today reflects the complexities of the situation and acknowledges the man behind the headlines. And look, everybody in the MMA world backed Cain. Dana White wrote a letter to the court. Fighters from every organization spoke out, and fans. They've been behind Cain from day one. Because, despite what happened, everyone knows what kind of person Cain is. Everyone knows what kind of father he is. But still, we have to say it. Cain is in jail, while the man who allegedly molested his child is free. And that's not justice. Now, yes, Cain was reckless, shooting in public during a car chase near a school. It's incredibly dangerous. It could have ended much worse. But this never should have happened in the first place. The real tragedy here is that the system failed Cain's family. It failed his child. And we're still waiting for it to even begin addressing the case against Harry Goularte. How is it that Cain's case is wrapped up before Goularte's even goes to trial? It's been more than 5 years. This isn't a gray area. It's a complete breakdown of the system. His court date is now set for June 2nd, finally. But we'll see what happens. Some people are saying he might even get a lighter sentence than Cain Velasquez, which, if that happens, would be an absolute disgrace. To the people asking why this process is so delayed, hard to say. Maybe it's California's legal system. Maybe it's corruption. But what we do know is Cain's been punished. He's taken accountability. He's paid a price for protecting his family in the only way he thought he could. And now, it's time for the system to do its job. No more delays. No more excuses. As for Cain, he still has time left, but he could be out sooner with good behavior. When he's released, there's no doubt he'll be welcomed back into the MMA community with open arms. He's already shown the character, strength, and accountability to come back from this. But until then, it's still free Cain. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. Was justice served? Should Cain be free right now? And how do you feel about the fact that Gulate still hasn't faced trial? If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more breakdowns and stories from across the MMA world. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.